What up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you.
So a year ago, it was a Thursday night football, and you're out with the offensive line, and I think it was the Rams and the Vikings in a shootout. I remember you being pretty impressed by that. And then that game last year against the 49ers, and I think later you would say, man, it looked fun, some of the things were running. You think there'll be a day where you look at your career and say that was one of those kind of twists of fates or turning points to get to where this 2019 team is?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we were not great last year on any side of the ball, and when I look back at my career, I think I'll be pretty thankful for the time I got to spend with the various coaches I've had over my career and the different schemes we've been in, and just to be a part of the cyclical nature of this league where you get out in front of a lot of the trends, and then the trends catch up, and then you get out in front of the trends, and then the trends catch up. And I think we were out in front of a lot of them, and obviously had a lot of success, and it's been fun. But I'm still here. I'm still doing it, still enjoying it, and still looking forward to many more years.
Aaron, we've seen all the stats and rankings with this 49ers defense. When you watch them on film, what catches your eye, what stands out?
Well, just really solid defense. They're obviously very stout up front. They've had a number of sacks, just about 40, I think, which is obviously helping not only their overall yardage, but the back end as well, because the back end knows the ball's got to come out at a certain time. There's not any holes in this defense. It's solid from the front seven to the back end as well. They're playing really well together. It's going to be a really good test for us.
They're a heavy zone team. I think the heaviest in the league in terms of how much they play it. I would think you want to be patient against a zone team, but can you be when they're front as good as it is?
Well, patience is kind of an interesting word when it comes to playing the position. I think the patience is in, just not forcing the ball in places. The beauty in the defense is with the pass rush, they can get after you with 4. You don't have to have a extensive blitz package, and when you have so many guys with vision to the football, you're going to have a lot of guys around the ball often, with shots on the ball, and they forced a bunch of fumbles this year. Good tackling team, and like I said, they're playing well all over the place.
Aaron, how do you approach this game knowing that potential playoff seedings implications are on the line? Such a huge game between you and the 49ers defense. Yeah,
I mean, this is an important one for us. The way I look at it, we got to beat them once at their place. At some point, it'd be nice to do it now, and they're a good football team. Though they've had a great start to the season, very well coached, both sides of the ball, and I think they've taken care of business at home the entire season too. So it's going to be a tough test.
When you watch film of this Bosa, does it look like the other Bosa that you faced 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean that's a really good football family right there. They're both super talented guys, and obviously Nick is just getting going, but he's a force off the edge. Similar styles in their body types. They're both very stout at the point of attack. They're good against the run and the pass, and I would expect these guys to be around for a while.
Aaron, you've been able to hit quite a few big plays this year with 2 tight ends. Why do you think that impact?
I think because we run the ball pretty well. I think we've done a good job in those sets of running our downhill stuff, and then also running our misdirection as well. Having Mercedes be such a great point of attack blocker, allows us to get some shots down the field because he can also pass block well. So his versatility at tight end has been a big plus for us this year.
In general, how beneficial has it been to be able to kind of have the revolving door with the personnel group who's coming off the sidelines and being able to mix up the looks you've been able to get to 10 games?
Yeah, we've definitely mixed the looks up. I think that's been something that we've really tried to improve on. Getting the call and the personnel in as quickly as possible, because we do like to cycle in and out of personnel, and the beauty in Matt and his staff is we've really tried to get guys in roles and then utilize those roles. And you've seen different games where Jamal and Aaron have both been pass catchers, and Lazard has been blocking at the point of attack, and we've run jet sweeps with multiple guys and fake jet sweeps with multiple guys, and we're finding ways to get everybody involved in the game, and that keeps guys, I think, locked in during the week.
Aaron, as far as bye weeks go, obviously it's good to get away and recharge. With a game like this looming afterwards, is it a little bit different with the anticipation building, going back to Northern California, and Matt's going against a lot of coaches he coached with? It's such a huge game at the standings, all that.
I mean, not for me. I was enjoying my bye week like I always do. I think it's a time to get away and recharge, and kind of take your mind off of things. I worked on my body a lot, as opposed to years past when maybe I went out of the country. Didn't do it this time. So maybe I was, a little more appreciative of where we're at 8-2, and how special the opportunity could be if we can take care of business the last 6 games of the regular season. But everybody's excited getting back in here on Monday, and we know what we have. We have a great football team at their place and on Sunday Night Football, and what else could you ask for?
Aaron, you talk about getting hot late in the season is what happens with the best teams. You've got 6 games left to maximize this opportunity. What kind of growth do you think is in front of this team, and what kind of growth do you think needs to happen in those 6 games to put you where you want to be at the end?
Well, we got to win some tough games. That's the growth that I want to see. There's going to be, obviously we have 3 division games to end the season. We have 2 games where you guys are going to tell us, how we should definitely win the game, and they're teams with not great records. Those are difficult games as well. Every game is going to be a different mental challenge for us, I think. But it starts with this one this week, and we're playing a great football team. Football team has played solid the entire year. That's won, a variety of different ways, and that's our first challenge. But it'll be interesting to see the character of this football team continue, hopefully, to grow these last 6 weeks, and the focus to remain the same, and the attitude to remain the same, and that's what we're looking for when you're trying to build something special.
Aaron, if you were allowed to, if you laid Kyle Shanahan's offense on top of what you guys are running now, would the difference be what you have carried over and what Matt's allowed you to be able to do as previous years? Would that be the major difference?
I think so. I've seen a little bit of film because obviously we've had some common opponents of their offense. They are running, a lot of stuff that Matt was running last year and that they ran in Atlanta with Matt Ryan and that offense. I think we have definitely added some of the stuff that we've done over the years here, and that'd probably be the slight difference.
You've beaten a bunch of good teams this year. Does that matter at all when you're facing a really good team, that experience, or is that just irrelevant?
No, I think that matters. It definitely matters. I think that's a confidence booster for us. And I did see a stat that we've beaten 4 or 5 teams with winning records. That's important stuff. We've won on the road in tough environments. We won in Dallas, won in Kansas City. We've got on the road and take care of business, so we'll take that confidence with us. We've also had a stinker on the road, so we got to learn from that experience and get out there and get ready to rock and roll.
Aaron, Colin Kaepernick had his workout this past weekend in Atlanta. Do you believe he still deserves another shot in the NFL? And do you believe the Packers should have been there for that workout?
Oh, I mean, that's not really a question for me on whether or not they should have been there. I'm not a personnel guy when it comes to that, but I do wish him the best. It's one of those things where there's been, I was on the bye week, so I was, taking a hiatus from all social media, but I obviously am aware of the conversation around it. And I don't really feel like I need to comment on every single, NFL goings that happens. But I do say, I wish him well. I've played against him. They got the best of us at times, and we got him a couple times too. But if he wants to play, I wish him the best.
Aaron, what do you expect from the Niners' home field advantage? I watched even a few weeks ago when they hosted the Panthers, there were a ton of empty seats, but against Seattle, it looked like it was raucous and looked like it was packed. What do you expect?
I know there's a lot of West Coast Packer fans, so I, also know they're bumping the prices out there too. So hopefully we can get some green and gold butts in the stands out there, but I'm sure it's going to be a loud crowd for them. And when you're 9-1 and you're the number 1 seed going into Week 12, I would expect it to be a pretty loud crowd.
Aaron, they have a couple of real tall guys on their defensive line. Do you have to make special accommodations when you have multiple guys like that?
I don't know if you can really think about it. I mean, they're a couple 6'7" guys in the front. We've done a pretty good job this year of not having hardly any passes knocked down the line of scrimmage. So it's about engaging those guys. The more they want to rush, the less they usually get their hands up. And, when they stay at the line of scrimmage, they're probably going to try and read eyes and jump. But, you don't really think about it. You just hope that you can slip it by them.
You've got a long history against Richard Sherman. He's an older guy. He's coming off a major injury, but still seems to be playing really well. What have you seen there?
Yeah, I mean, he's a savvy player. I mean, he's a smart, instinctive, just really sound player. You have to feel really good about Rouse his side. I mean, I don't think that's really ever changed with him. He's just he has that ability to lull you to sleep sometimes, and still jumps on the ball. Has fantastic ball skills. He's a great player. I have nothing but respect for his career and what he's accomplished.
Has he ever acknowledged that Michael Bennett was offsides on his pick against you in that NFC Championship game?
I've never asked him.
I know you guys say you take it one game at a time, but has there been any talk yet about bigger goals, loftier goals here towards the end of the season, how one game can really make a difference between the 1 seed and the 6 seed?
I mean, John, we're all aware of where we're at in, the seeding going into Week 12 and what's in front of us and the opportunities. There's still a lot of football to be played and a lot can happen. I think, you're just in denial if you don't think about the implications with, a dub or an L this week and how that affects stuff down the line. That's what I said. The way we look at it, we're going to have to win there one time the rest of the year. It'd be nice to get it done this week.
Have you ever seen a conference like this, 5 teams with at least 8 wins? And I mean, how different does it? Usually when you're 8-2, you can have a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
Not so much right now.
I mean, I'd have to go back and check the memory banks or ask Tom, because Tom's the stat guy there, right, Tom? And the historian. But it doesn't seem like we've had this top-heavy of a conference in a while. You got some great teams. It feels, and again, we're in Week 12, but it feels like one of those years where you just got to get in, and any of those teams that are in position right now could make a move and get hot. That's what it's all about, getting hot at the right time and being healthy. And then obviously you still got the Rams, who obviously had a big win, and they're in the mix.
Aaron, for 10 weeks, do you think you guys know your personnel now and what strengths or how they fit into the offense? Are you in a situation now where you can just use guys to best match up the game?
I think so. I think we're still trying to piece it all together, because Devontae's been out, for a stretch, and Robert Tonyan's been out for a stretch. But I think we really know what we have in Jamal, and obviously Aaron Jones and Mercedes and Jimmy, and really proud of what Geronimo's done this year. It's for guys like Geronimo and Allen, especially, the contributions they've had go way farther than the statistics, and they've been a big part of our success. Obviously I love Jake, and I think Marquez has had a couple really good weeks of practice, and I think he's getting his confidence back to where he needs it. So we feel really good about those guys. A big key that I'm sure you guys have wrote about and talked about has been the offensive line, though. To be able to have those guys healthy, through 10 weeks has been really important. With a short stint with Lucas in there at center, we've been really fortunate, and Alex Light coming in for a little bit, really fortunate to have those guys healthy and practicing all the time. I think the continuity that they have up front has been a big part of our success.
When you look at the takeaways that San Fran forced last year, the fewest in NFL history, and this year 22, what's the biggest difference with that defense on tape this year?
Pass rush. It's definitely the pass rush. When you can add D Ford through free agency or a trade, what it was, a free agency, and then draft Nick Bosa, and you already got 2 6'7" guys who are really good players. You would expect the efficiency of the defense and the turnovers to go up, and they obviously have.
Can you keep winning in games like this, in playoff games, when you have MVS has 1 catch in 3 games, Geronimo had 6 yards last game, just kind of the sporadic contributions, or you need someone, whoever it is, to step up and become a bigger factor in that guy opposite 17?
Well, Bill, I think, we've been finding a way to win different ways. I think we can is the answer. And I think it's going to take guys buying into their roles and understanding that 1 week, they might have a couple big catches and 140 yards and a touchdown, and the next week they might not be as big of a factor in the game, and that's just the way the game plays out, the plan, the defense we're playing against. I think great teams understand their roles and embrace them and make it more about the team. I mean, obviously everybody wants to go out there and compete and put up numbers and make splash plays, but I think the character and the identity of this team has been that every week it could be something different, someone different, and you got to play your role to the best of your abilities, and that's how we've been winning.
Aaron, on the flip side of Bill's question, though, Lazard had that big game against Detroit, and Matt said that anybody can do it once. How do you think he's answered the bell, and has he moved into kind of that role, beneath Devontae, where he's maybe your most reliable guy?
Well, he's definitely reliable. I think it starts with his habits. I think he has really good habits, and you guys know I talk about it in the offseason a lot. The way that you approach your job is very important to your opportunities. I mean, I think it's a direct correlation between your preparation and the opportunities you get, because if you know what you're doing, you're already ahead of the game for the most part, and then if you can go out and gain confidence executing that responsibility, you get the trust of the coaching staff and myself, and you find the ball coming your way a little bit more often. So very proud of the way that he stepped up. It's never been too big for him. It really hasn't, and that's a characteristic of the guys that we've had here who've been contributors, consistent contributors. And I would put Geronimo in that category too. When Geronimo came in the first day, it was never too big for him. They just, kind of rolled with it. And I give those guys a lot of credit for, embracing their roles and staying prepared and confident.
Oh yeah. Young Moolah, baby.